owner Mark Tauscher. Live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the Wednesday edition. The OTAs, at least the open ones, are donezo edition. Let's see if we can have earth-shattering golf news 2 consecutive days as the show begins edition. And what's a nice way to ask a quarterback about the ducks he's throwing edition. Of Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, although it appears I got kicked off of that just now. And, of course, WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jace Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Why, you guys not doing video today or what? I'm all jacked up sitting here on my video screen all by myself.
Tausch, hate to break it to you. I think you're using the wrong link for the video stream.
No, Monday's VMix. Boom, clicked on it. Here I am. Look, all by myself.
All by myself.
Very strange that everyone else seems to be in the right place.
Yeah, it is strange. I'm doing good this morning. I'm wondering, do you think allergies get worse as you get older?
No, but I feel like acne does, which is another discussion for another day. No,
are you all acne'd up? Why would you say that? My allergies suck. That's why I brought it up.
I think it's a bad year, from what I understand. I'm not an allergist, but I think it's been a
bad year.
Well, based on some of the news reporting, which unless you're Brett Favre, you can actually listen to on occasion. It's a very bad year. High pollen. We've got that whole haze coming down on us from the Canadian wildfires, which is also causing allergic issues. So I don't think it's your age. I think it's the year.
Okay, I think it's age too. But yeah, I don't know for sure.
Why do you ask? Just out of curiosity, why do you ask?
Because I want to be informed, and that's. I got done mowing the lawn last night.
Oh, you're mowing again.
I don't want to, but it's no mow May. It's June, so I'm mowing. Got a mower that's working. And
that's a win.
I couldn't stop sneezing, coughing as I'm going to Eleanor softball game last night because all that pollen and whatever else. All right, I clicked on Mondays again, and I'm still sitting here by myself on this video chat.
Now Jason disappeared. So what is going on this thing?
Yeah, I keep getting alerts that say the call has been disconnected. So I'm guessing it's all your fault, Jesse.
It must. Maybe we need a hard reset.
Good
Sorry,
stuff.
Sorry for everyone on the video stream. We'll
I
get
guess,
this running shortly.
But we appreciate Tausch bringing it up for everyone's enjoyment. Yes. So your allergies were bad going to your softball game to watch a team no longer sponsored by the radio station because we're now sponsoring Max's baseball team, correct?
That's correct, yes. All of those things can be true. All right, so so this is where I guess I'm confused. You're talking, is Jordan Love throwing a bunch of ducks at practice? Because that's not what social media is telling me.
He's throwing
dimes.
some. And he's not throwing absolute dimes all the time. He's doing what you would expect from a first-time starter. He's having good plays. He's having not so good plays. He's having good throws. He's having the occasional great throw. He's having some pretty bad throws. Like, the question that Rob Domofsky, and we'll get to it a little bit later in the show, was asking was, how's the ball coming out of your hand? And
that's a good way to do it.
That's why I brought that up. Yeah, exactly.
How do you think you're spinning it? Yep.
Because he has had some throws that, Bill Huber, I can hear him over my shoulder at practice going quack, 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 quack. Like, there are throws that are like that. And again, and I said this to Jordan yesterday about something else, I don't want to play well, Aaron did this, and you're doing this. I don't want to ask him questions that refer to Rodgers, although I did ask one that referred to Rodgers. I don't want to do that. I want to give him the opportunity to be him and not constantly have to hear his predecessor's name and how his predecessor did things. I don't want to do that to him. But I would say that we are accustomed at practice with the number one offense, whether it was with Brett Favre for me, 1996 through 2007, or with Aaron Rodgers from 2008 through last year, we're accustomed to seeing some pretty consistently great throwing on the number one offense. And it's not that consistency level. So, in fairness to Jordan, I don't think it's necessarily a big deal, and I said this to LaFleur in one of my questions yesterday, the fact that we only come to 3 of these, I asked him who else has popped during the practices we're not allowed to come to. Because yesterday, for example, Carrington Valentine, who, for those of you who are uninitiated, he is
trading places.
That's exactly
part of
Bobby
the
Ray or Billy Ray
deal?
Valentine. Yeah. That is exactly who I thought of when they drafted him, so thank you for your service. He is a corner out of Kentucky, 7th-round pick. And he had back-to-back breakups on Romeo Dobbs on throws by Love. That's how you get yourself noticed. Tausch, you know this, right? Like, you make plays, and it gives you a chance to have a chance to make more plays, right?
Correct.
So he does this, but if he had done that the day before, or he does that tomorrow, and none of us are here, I never once mentioned Carrington Valentine at all on this show, right? Because I didn't see it.
No.
And so I would be curious, and this is the struggle, whether it's with judging what kind of OTAs Jordan Love has had, or young guys that have, when I asked LaFleur, I don't think he was expecting the question, and I think he just sort of threw out a bunch of names of guys that were drafted. Like Lucas Van Ness has flashed. Well, good, I hope so, because you drafted him 13th overall. But my point is that this is the hardest part of this, is I want to accurately depict to our fans how Jordan's performances have been. And I just don't feel like when you only get to see some of them, I try to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And he committed one of Tom Clement's mortal sins yesterday. And that's how
across the middle.
Late down the middle, and it was intercepted in the end zone, and that was the last play of practice. And now I would ask you, when you finish a practice on a bad play, does it matter? It feels to me like it kind of matters, right? You go into the locker room going, "Damn it, I can't believe I threw that," or whatever else, because it's the last play, even if you had good plays earlier. And so that was the last play. It was bad. He violated one of the 3 rules, the 3 laws from iRobot. That's not what you want to do to end practice. But, as Matt LaFleur said, you'd rather have him do it in practice than do it in a game. Now, does he learn from it and not do it in a game? We'll have to wait and see. That was where I thought you might react to what I said.
Oh, there was no question. I don't know what so that's the part that I think for players, it would be great for everyone to be there to see the entire thing, so that you're not making a snap judgment on Valentine or on Tucker Kraft, or for Musgrave. It's great because everything he does seems to be great. But that's not how the Packers are doing it, which I said this last week. I don't understand why you wouldn't want people up there. I don't get that. It makes no sense to me. I don't ever remember OTAs and or minicamp practices when it was nice out that we didn't let railbirds and fans come. I just don't remember that. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think you are.
So now you're asking Wilde, Domofsky, Huber, everybody to give you a picture to the fans because they're not invited to see how these guys are doing, because the intrigue level of what's going on right now is at its highest. Everybody is curious. Nobody has a clue. So what do you always call it? Your conduition to the fans has never been bigger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now we want to hear, we want info, we want to know so that we can say, oh, well, I heard Jordan's looking pretty good. And it sounds as if you're giving him an incomplete because you don't want to be too harsh with your criticism.
Look,
that's what it sounds like to me.
He has made good throws, okay? I don't want it to sound like, and this is, again, I think that there is a portion of, whether it's the media or the fan base, that wants him to look good, right? Optimism, excitement, and so slow motion videos of him completing passes on routes on air, I just think it's important to realize the phrase routes on air, if you need a translation on that, it means against no defenders. Literally, it's just your offense on one side of the field doing drill work. So that's great that he's throwing the ball well on those, but how does he do in the 11-on-11 periods? That's what matters. Yesterday, he was 13 for 21. So that's pretty good. But one of the 8 that was not a completion was an interception to end the 2-minute drill. If you're trying to win a game, and at the end of the game you throw the ball into the end zone and it's intercepted, we're not all going to be saying after you lose to the Bears on September 10th in that scenario, well, you tried to make a play. Didn't you, Jordan? It just didn't work out. I mean, that's going to be a disappointment. People are going to be frustrated. So he has shown good things. He has shown throws that, he admitted one yesterday, and you'll hear it when we play some of the audio of our conversation with him. But, he brought up on his own a throw to Dobbs down the sideline that I told you guys about last week. He brought it up as one of the throws where it was, he didn't call it a duck, but it was a ball that was a wobbler, he called it. So I think he has done a good job of being honest in his assessment of himself. But I do think that there is a portion of whatever group you want to call it that wants him to succeed. And so I also think it's worth noting that the video is only allowed during non-11-on-11 periods. So we can't shoot video of 2-minute drill and post it on Twitter or post it on your website. So you never get to see that stuff. Now, if it was open to fans, they're allowed to do that, which I don't get it, but that's how it works. So if you're sitting in the stands and you're not a credentialed member of the media, you can take video of whatever the heck you want. And so I don't have any video to share with you of the interception that he threw. So that's not something that you can then have go viral. And frankly, with everything with the trade talk last year, I don't have any interest in going viral on anything related to Jordan Love. But the bottom line is you get to see only what we're allowed to shoot. And that's why you've got, what did you call him, Gronk Jr.? Luke Musgrave in slow motion, looking like he's going to be taking the league by storm. He didn't have a catch in the 2-minute drill yesterday. He was a non-factor. So, Tausch, I think my question for you is, how do you manage the ups and downs as a young player in even these practices, which aren't even training camp practices, but they're still part of the resume that you're building?
Yeah, I think it's different when you're talking about Jordan compared to Luke Musgrave. Rookies, it's just different. You're trying to just plow ahead. You're not as interested. You just want to make sure, hey, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going, and I want to be able to start trusting my instincts as we get into training camp. This is all just learning. You're not afraid making mistakes. You obviously don't want to make the same mistake twice. But as a rookie, you're just trying to figure out as much stuff as you can so that you can let it rip when the pads come on in July. That's not where Jordan Love's at. I think Jordan Love wants to showcase himself in a different way. It's not about, going through the process, and you're going to have mistakes also. But I think the big thing for him is to get that trust in his teammates that he's the guy. Everybody's saying he's the guy, but you got to go show it. And he's 4 years into this. This is his 4th season, really his 3rd season in the offseason of running the football team. And you're going to still, get outside the pocket. You're going to try and do some things in practice that you wouldn't do in a game. But you really want to see some big steps being taken. Whereas with Musgrave and Jaden Reed and Kraft and all these young guys, hey, line up right, run the route. Hey, well, occasionally they'll have a big splash play. Let's see your athleticism. Let's see what you have that we can then coach and get the most out of so that we get good football players when the season starts. They're not real interested in all of that other stuff right now. It's, man, look, this guy's just as fast or just as good as we thought. And sometimes, hey, this guy's even more explosive and better than what we thought when we drafted him. That's what you're trying to get done with that part of it.
Well, we had a lot of questions for both Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love yesterday. You'll hear us ask some of them from our open OTA practice and media session afterward. When anybody asks me, hey, Jason, who's got the best replacement windows and doors in all the world? That's an easy thing to answer. I just say Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the easiest answer. It is the veteran that you know you're going to get Pro Bowl starts from, and that is Gina Della from Pella. And you know what? Going to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin with all of the options and everything, it's like going to your favorite coffee shop and having your own barista for windows and doors. Pella's design options are virtually limitless and even more customizable than your morning coffee. Their wood windows and patio doors can be painted, they can be stained, they can be left bare to complement your home's unique decor. And they stand the test of time. It's why Pella confidently offers the best wood warranty in the industry. Bundle up and save when you customize your order by August 31st. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Domofsky and I had a few questions for Jordan Love yesterday. You'll hear a few of them coming up next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel